um, that kind of testimonial goes a long ways to kind of adding legitimacy and authenticity to, to particularly a restaurant. When someone says, hey, where should we try it, and they say, I tried the Hoppy Taco, you need those folks who are going to get out there and speak on your behalf. Despite, kind of a limited budget, we do have plans in place to incorporate some TV spots as well. You can see here, if you hadn't seen it previously, that we do have an example of, one of these short TV spots. These are going to be run on local stations, ideally prime time and late night, to kind of attract the audience that we're looking for. So it's kind of a three-pronged approach with the media plan, and we feel that it also really addresses nicely those areas of reach and frequency. The social media, obviously, that's going to give us a nice big reach. It's going to give us the ability to kind of control that frequency. And between that and our print ads that are going to be in the local area, should be able to kind of hit people with that 10 hits per month or so, as is typically recommended. So integration of the media plan, it's going to be very important to offer a consistent message across all platforms. Of course, they're all going to be kind of self-referential. You're seeing a commercial, it's pushing you to the website. You go to the website, it's pushing to the restaurant, and so forth. But, all of these messages are going to serve to kind of increase our brand awareness. And again, we want to be top of mind when folks are thinking fast casual. Keeping this message consistent, that's going to help us kind of build the relationship as opposed to just the fling, as it were. As far as sales promotion goes, we don't think we're going to do. We don't think it makes sense to do much like couponing. That can be very costly, both in the manufacture and the delivery of getting those coupons out to people. So we're going to focus more on everyday value, daily specials, and loyalty programs. Now, we know that some of those loyalty programs, I suppose the jury's still out on whether or not they are effective, but we do think that within our industry, it's a good way to keep those people who would likely come in, to keep them coming in more often. Public relations, we have a number of things already in place. So we are partnering with several local breweries. We're going to have unique beers brewed for the Hoppy Taco. Those are only going to be available at the Hoppy Taco. And for those people who are into craft beers, we think that's important, that there's going to be an additional draw beyond the food itself, beyond the fact that we have beer. We have beer that can only be found here. We are also working with some charity organizations to distribute Hoppy Taco tacos to the less fortunate around the holidays, and that sort of thing. We are also putting up booths at local events like races, things like that. So folks finish up, they're going around, they're checking out the merch. Hey, here's Hoppy Taco. Let's check that out. And it's actually a product that we know translates well to all of those scenarios. Everything that we're doing with the plan here really qualifies as direct marketing. We are, marketing directly to the consumer with the idea that they're going to come purchase from us directly. Now, again, we have kind of a limited budget, so what we've laid out is where it's at. But in the future, we may look to do some more direct mailers, things like that. We are going to have the emails off of the loyalty program, where perhaps we could do some virtual mailers or direct messaging that way. And that brings us to the budget. We have it established. We're looking at $3,000 monthly for starters, which isn't a ton, but really, for a startup restaurant, a lot better than most might have. So we're fortunate that we do have some money to play with. As a result of it being, rather limited, we are going to focus hard on spending that money on the advertising as opposed to the sales promotion. We've touched on various sales promotion with the daily specials, everyday low value. Those aren't really costing us anything to implement. So that's really allowing us to put the bulk of our budget towards advertising. The image you're looking at here was also included in your report and just gives you a breakout for those of you who are a little more analytical. You got the short breakout there in spreadsheet format as well as the pie chart. I think this is a good place to start with the budget. This is something that we're going to be evaluating and perhaps revising in coming months. So that really leaves us with the question of communication effectiveness, and that is kind of always the question. What's my ROI here? Why am I spending this money, and how can we tell if it's actually working? And that can be difficult. And again, we have a fairly limited budget for our marketing plan here, but fortunately, social media gives us a leg up. Advanced analytics are readily available on Facebook for things like shares and views and likes, right down to reach. So you can really get a pretty definitive number. We're going to be looking to grow that, to grow those numbers week in and week out. So that's something we're going to be taking a look at every week. Same thing with Twitter. We can easily check on things like retweets and followers. And we're going to be looking to make sure that those are increasing every week. Beyond that, we are going to have emails and contact information for those in our loyalty program. There's a number of good SurveyMonkey type sites where it's free, where we can go get those out. Looking for those kind of opinions. In addition to that, we can seek feedback from those who are coming into the store via comment cards, and we can offer some sort of a free menu item or something like that as kind of a token to say, hey, thank you for giving us this information. We're trying to change. We're trying to improve rather. And I think that altogether, this media plan is really going to work well to, again, kind of meet our initial objective. We're trying to grow this brand. We're trying to get the brand of the Hoppy Taco out there and be first of mind when people are thinking of a fun place to go out with the guys, go out with the girls, go out with the family, come have a beer and a taco at the Hoppy Taco. So thank you so much for listening to me today and listening to the presentation. You'll all be sent, of course, a copy of this, and if you do have any questions, please do reach out. I look forward to working with you all as we move forward with the Hoppy Taco. And again, if you need to contact me, probably the best way is email, and I can be reached here at jeff.cruz@gmail.com. Thanks again.